way back up in the woods. I was so ragged that folks used to call me Patches. Papa used to tease me about it, cause deep down inside he was hurt cause he'd done all he could. My papa was a great old man. I can see him with a shovel in his hand. See, education he never had. He did wonders when the times got bad. The little money from the crops he raised barely paid the bills we made. Oh, life that kicked him down to the ground when he tried to get up right when he came back down. One day, Papa called me to his dying bed, put his hands on my shoulders and in tears he said, Patches, I'm depending on you, son, to pull the family through. My son is all left up to you. 2 days later, Papa passed away. I became a man that day. So I told Mama I was gonna quit school, but
Is that the song or is that the song, y'all? Didn't think I could play something like that. You're so used to all the crooner stuff. That is the great Clarence Carter singing Patches. Everybody knows him from Stroking, but let's not forget about Patches. I'm depending on you, son. We play a little bit more of this great song for you. Sing it, Clarence. To Do the Rest. What a fantastic song. Music. Man, I love music. My taste, as you can tell, folks, is eclectic as all outdoors. Now, if you forgot who I am, I'm the man with the brown fedora tonight. The pinky ring and the New York thing. Forget about it. Bad Brad Berkowitz. And this is another, I told you 3 days in a row, RSR video email bag show where I take your questions and I answer them. Now, if you want to be on my next show, send your questions in to Ringside Report 2014 at gmail.com. Again, that's Ringside Report 2014 at gmail.com. Now, make sure you subscribe, which I put a thing on Facebook. The 500th subscriber to the RSI YouTube channel will get a shout out on this show by the one and only. Forget about it. So let's get those subscriptions, I should say, up on the YouTube channel. All right, folks. Now, if you want to advertise on the RSR Video Email Bag Show, how do you do that? You should tell me because I tell you all the freaking time. Forget about it. Serious business inquiries, send them in to Ringside Report 2014 at gmail.com. Now, the book, Boxing Interviews of a Lifetime, by the cat on the back and the cat with the fedora. Of course, that would be me. Now, how do you pick up Boxing Interviews of a Lifetime? It's very simple. You go to authorhouse.com. Again, that's authorhouse.com. And you get it there wholesale. You save a few fazools. Okay, I'm all about saving the fazools. With the economy the way it is, you need to save a few fazools. But if you don't want to go there and you want to pay retail because that's what you like to do, that's up to you. You go to Amazon and you go to Barnes & Noble, any of those retailers online, you can purchase the book. Now, without further ado, let's get into your questions. First question is, hey, my brother with the fedora, the pinky ring, and the New York thing, who beats his meat, oh, I know who this is, who beats his meat so much, he needs a cut man with the end swell. Put some ice on it, son. What's the 411 on Tyson Toney being almost 90% done? True or false in your opinion? Sir Jack No More, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, Sir Jack No More is full of El Crapo, because that would be Sir Jack a lot, who I nicknamed, by the way, the Fighting Cowboy, James Quick Tillis, where you can see his show, Quick's RSR Video Email Bag Show, on the RSR YouTube channel. So that's another reason to go over there, get on your horse like he does, and subscribe. Now, he ain't bullshitting nobody. He's been jacking it since I was 13 years old in the gym. Angelo Dundee used to make us leave so he could jack it. Who's he fooling? Sir Jack-a-lot. Anyways, on a serious note, Tyson versus Toney. Tyson's going to be 50 in June. I think it's June of 66 he's born. And James Toney, you need subtitles under what he's saying nowadays. And he's too busy with the cigars, cheap ones probably at that. But nonetheless, I have not heard about that. I don't believe it for a minute. But if they did fight, who cares? People would probably come. I'd pick Tyson if he got in shape. But I don't see it happening there, Sir Jack a lot. But, hey, you never know. Stranger things have happened now. Forget about it. Next question. Bad Brad emailed you a few months ago back regarding Joseph Parker. Appreciate the response, and now things are getting very interesting for him. As we know, Joshua is fighting Martin this weekend for the IBF title, and in May, Parker is fighting Carlos Takam to be the mandatory. Even though he's fighting to be the mandatory, we know how the sanctioning bodies are. I give him one of those. It's heavyweight boxing and anything can happen. But gut feeling right now is we are in for a Joshua versus Parker showdown end of 2016 in London. That, in my opinion, will be the fight of the year across any division. What are your thoughts on the state of division right now? Cheers, Simon from Australia. Thanks for writing in. And again, Simon, I do remember your question about Joseph Parker. And I did look him up because I hadn't seen too much. I heard of him, but I didn't see too much of him. So I had to go to YouTube. What do I think of the division? Well, let's be fair. It's not great. I'm not going to go overboard. But it's the best it's been in a long time. Is it as good as when Lennox Lewis was in it? Nah, it's not as good as then. But you got a little bit of excitement. You got Tyson Fury across the pond talking a lot of shit. Fighting Vladimir again. Hopefully he knocks him out this time. You got Anthony Joshua fighting Charles Martin, which you got to give Charles Martin credit, even though it was a fluke the way he won the title. And I'm not impressed with him, but I give him credit. Here he is in his first title defense. He outdoes Deontay Wilder, who in 3 title defenses, all 3 of those guys, and there's no bums in my vocabulary, but all 3 of those guys equal Anthony Joshua because he hasn't fought anybody. But with Deontay Wilder, having kind of a weak chin, but power puncher, Tyson Fury, a good shit talker, which Wilder and Fury would be a great press conference if I said over and over again. It's the best it's been in a long time. It's not great, but I'll take it. I'm actually excited about Martin and Joshua this Saturday on Showtime. So I'm looking forward to it. My prediction is Anthony Joshua in 5 or 6 rounds. Now bet the house on freaking Martin because whenever I go on record, forget about it. I always pick wrong. But I think it's exciting. More exciting than it has been. Now, last question. Big Bad Brad, your opinion, Todd Foster versus Macho Camacho. If you recall this bout, what's your opinion on it? I felt Todd's manager and team put him in with an elite fighter too soon. What's your take on this bout? S.A. Big Bad Brad, Howard M. from Houston, Texas. Howard M., my paisan from Houston, Texas. You can be a regular here. As Quick Tiller says, where's my $2? And you're a great guy in the forum and a great guy. You always put up great pictures. I saw your picture when you were young back in the day. You had hair a little bit there with a Vander Holyfield. Forget about it. Now let's talk about Hector Camacho. Before I answer your question, let me give you a little background on him. I'm sure you know about him. I'm going to give the viewers who don't know a lot about him. Sadly, he passed away a couple years ago. Okay, in his prime. Okay, he turned pro in 1980. Okay, in his prime, he was one of the best in the sport. Okay, great fighter, fast, not a huge puncher, but he could get you out of there. But a masterful boxer. Now, he changed in, I want to say June, but I'm going to definitely say 86. I want to say June of 86. But if I got the month wrong, I definitely got the year right, 1986. He changed forever. And why was that? He fought Edwin Rosario. He won a split decision at Madison Square Garden. He got cut, and he never was the same again after that. He never fought the same way. That was 6 years into his career. Okay, before that, we saw greatness. After that, we saw, I won't say mediocrity, but we saw good. We didn't see great. Okay, went on to lose against Trinidad, Chavez, and a lot of others, De La Hoya, but he was way past his prime. Now, he fought Foster, the guy that you talked about, and I do actually remember that bout because I saw it. It was on the undercard of Pazienza Duran. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2. I think it was 1, but it was definitely on the undercard of Pazienza Duran. I'm pretty sure it was 1. Hector knocked him out, but let's keep in mind something. That was 1995, so that's 15 years into Hector Macho Camacho's career. Hector was not completely shot, but way past his prime by then. Now, did they put Foster in there against elite fighter? No, he was no longer an elite fighter. Okay, even though he got beat, They had to put him in there. I believe, if I recall, Todd Foster, look it up on BoxRec, but I'm pretty sure he got beat. Might have got stopped or a decision. Either way, obviously, it can only go either way. Against Jimmy Paul, great guy out of Detroit, okay? Now, Foster was not put in there with an elite fighter because at that time, Camacho was not an elite fighter. He had lost for the first time against Greg Haugen, if you remember, and then he wound up beating Haugen in the rematch for the WBO title that Hector held. But no, he wasn't an elite fighter. Now, as far as Foster, he was a C-plus level fighter, in my opinion. He never made it to the next level, which happens to a lot of fighters. But definitely, he was not put in there against the elite. I don't believe his management made a mistake. It would have, if he would have won, he probably wouldn't have got that much credit because they would have said what I did. He was past his prime. Now, Hector Camacho, again, sadly, he has passed away. God rest his soul. You know, another thing that hurt Camacho, it's no secret, we're not talking out of the shop here. He had a drug problem, and he couldn't get past it, unfortunately, and that's sad because it took away from his greatness as well. I've been to a charity event with him where he came in and he was great, and later on, after a little nose candy, he was out of his mind. He wasn't the nicest guy. He wasn't disrespectful to me or mean to me, but I saw him act very crazy in his white tuxedo. But he's one of my favorite fighters. Like I said, God rest his soul. He was his own worst enemy, and I hate drugs. Okay, I hate them. I've seen it destroy people. I absolutely detest drugs, and it didn't help him being on them or being around them because that's what happened in Puerto Rico. I'm not saying he was on drugs, but it was a drug deal that got bad there. Okay? There's your answer to your question. Howard M. See you in the Facebook forum. All right, folks, that's another show in the can, as we always say. Forget about it. And as Frank Sinatra sang so eloquently, so long ago, the best is yet to come. Bad Brad out.